Welcome, this is Rebecca Jane from Yoga with Rebecca Jane, and welcome to our flow, stretch and breathe class. So this is number 4. So today we're going to be concentrating on two target areas. We'll be targeting our tummy muscles, which we all love to target, and also the arms, particularly for many of us at different ages, but as you get a little bit older, you might get a little bit of this extra stuff coming underneath your arms, a little extra flesh. We'll be doing 3 exercises regarding that through a little bit of a flow, using our breath and some stretches. So let's get going. So take a few moments, settle in, find your comfortable seat. And once you've kind of wriggled around a little bit, sit up nice and tall, hands resting on your thighs. Feel the sense of lengthening up through the crown of the head, but yet don't bring your shoulders with you. You might, but if you do, just roll them back and lower them down. So there's a nice tall spine, but at the same time you don't want to be rigid, become rigid. And then if you can close your eyes, close your eyes. And we're simply going to take this first few moments to just be here in this moment. Paying attention to sounds, maybe. Paying attention to anything that might be going on inside you. It could be that you're already aware of the breath, or it might be you're aware of a little discomfort in a part of your body, or you might be aware of the chattering mind, which is usually what we notice first. So now what I want you to do is move into breath awareness, so breathing in. And just simply watching the breath as opposed to doing anything about it. So we're breathing in and out, just letting the breath flow naturally. And notice where you might be feeling that breath. And then let's just gently flutter our eyelids and open the eyes. And what we're going to do now is we'll go into the conscious breathing in a moment. We're going to come off of our seat or a cushion, maybe. You could actually use the cushion if you'd like. And extend your legs forward, and we'll come back. Now we're going to move into conscious breathing. So we've just observed the breath. We know kind of what's going on with the breathing without having to change it. Now we're going to take that breath and begin to manipulate it into the way we want to feel. So the question is, as you sit here, before we even go into our stretch, is asking yourself, how do I want to feel today? Depending on the time of the day it is that you're doing this class, morning, it might be just perfect for the whole day. You might, in the afternoon, thinking about how I want to feel for the rest of the day, and evening, how I want to just be feeling in this moment. So it's more of a moment if you're doing this in the evening. Now take a breath in, deepen the breath, inhale through the nose, and use your exhalation to lower yourself down, folding over those legs. And as you come down into this forward bend, begin to use your breath to help you deepen your stretch. So take a breath in, feel that lengthening through the spine, and as you exhale, lowering down, coming into a deeper stretch. Inhaling, there's an expansion, there's a feeling of lengthening, and there's a tensing of the body, and then as you exhale, you soften down. And you allow the tension to seep away through your pores, through your breath. Take a breath in And as you breathe out, slowly let yourself come back up. Take your shoulders, roll them back behind you. And then let's take your hands behind your back and just slide your bottom to your heels as you lower yourself onto your backs. Extend those legs away from the arms, a nice long stretch, something that you might need more than ever right now. So as you breathe in, there's that tensing of the body, there's that opening and expansion. And then as you exhale, you let yourself settle down, let everything melt into the earth. All the tensions slowly beginning to kind of dissipate, evaporate. Hug your knees into your chest. And we're going to start to move a little bit faster. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, keep your right knee into your chest, hugged into your chest, left leg down, as if you're standing on your left leg. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, straighten your right leg. Doesn't have to reach up to the sky. Take your hands, interlace them behind your right thigh. And from here, press through the ball mount of that right foot, the heel slightly lifted. Take a breath in and try and bring the foot towards you, but with the hands, but at the same time you're pushing your leg into the hands, creating resistance. Breathing in, getting that ujjayi breath moving, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling, there's that resistance, pushing into the hand at the same time, the hands pushing into your leg. Beginning to wake up your tummy muscles, the back muscles. Take a breath in, and then the next exhalation, pick your left leg up just about an inch off the ground. Just let it hover. Kick through that left heel. Now you have an option here. You could stay here or make it a little bit, challenge yourself, but you don't have to do that. You could reach your arms back in line with your ears, so they're not touching the ground, they're reaching on a diagonal. Keep your gaze towards your knee or towards your left foot. Breathe in, and then as you breathe out, hug your knees into your chest. Little rocks and rolls from side to side. Take a breath in, and this time keep your left knee into your chest. Extend your right leg, flex that right foot, standing on one leg. Take an inhale and exhale, straighten that left leg. Take your hands, interlace them behind your left thigh, kick through that left heel, open up those toes, and then press into that hand, and at the same time, those hands, because they're together, at the same time, bring the leg in towards you. So you're fighting against that tension that you're creating simply by using your hands. And then if you want to add a little extra, pick your right leg up about an inch off the ground, but keep both heels kicking forward, relaxing the shoulders, breathing in, keep the ujjayi breath moving, and exhaling. And inhale, and if you wish to go further, feel free to take the hands up from behind the leg, but keep kicking and reach your arms on a diagonal in line with your ears. Pick your head and shoulders off the ground. Breathing in, working these tummy muscles, and exhaling, and then hugging your knees into your chest. Let's lower your head back to the ground, little rocks and rolls from side to side. Inhaling and exhaling. So keeping the flow of your breath even when you're resting and stretching. Lift all the way up, and you can come to a side if you'd like. Re-straighten your legs. Take an inhale, lift your arms up to the sky. And let's exhale, soften down, forward fold. Inhaling, that tensing of the body, the lengthening, and then with the exhalation, relaxing and softening. So we're creating tension, and by creating tension in your body, you're squeezing those muscles, and then you're releasing the muscles as you breathe out. So this is how we rid ourselves of tension, physical tension, emotional tension. And then let's take a breath in and lift ourselves back up to a tall spine and place your feet flat on the ground. Just rub your legs if you're feeling something, maybe pat them. And then take your hands back behind you. Fingertips pointing towards your bottom, and if that doesn't feel right for your wrist, then just spin the fingers outward. Not everybody feels comfortable doing that. So I had mentioned the triceps, so the back of the arms, which are really tough places to target to create muscles. We do a lot of this in yoga. We target that area. So what we're doing here is you're going to bend the elbows and you're going to squeeze the elbows together towards each other and bring your chin towards your chest. Then inhale, straighten those arms and lift your heart up. So going through a cat and cow shape. And then exhale, bend, chin to chest, draw the belly in towards the spine. And then inhale, lift up, opening. Now the next one, exhale, bend. And the next one, you can either keep your bottom on the ground, like we've been doing, or you might lift your bottom off the ground. So this is where we're working our arms and our core. You might not come as high as me, that's fine. Lower the bottom down and then bend your elbows. Squeeze those elbows in towards each other. Then inhale, either just stay down and lift your heart or pick your bottom up. Exhale down, bending the elbows, chin to chest. Let's do two more sets. Inhale, lift up. Let's go one more time. Exhale, bend. I'm feeling my arms already. Now inhale, lift up or not. But even if you're not, opening up your shoulders, opening up your chest. And if you're in this modified plank or it's upward plank variation, lift your hips and see if you can get your knees and your hips in a perfect plane. And then lower down. Ooh. You'll probably feel these arms, shoulders. Place the soles of the feet together, draw the heels in towards you, Baddha Konasana, and forward fold. Breathing in, even when we're stretching. Use the breath continuously to heat up the body, to help you kind of create this rhythm, natural rhythm in your body, the rhythm you want to experience. And then take an inhale and exhale. Slowly roll yourself up. Place your hands on your knees and cross your ankles and come onto your hands and knees. Slide your legs back. Press back into a child's pose, stretching through those arms. Maybe open the knees up. Do a little bit of a sliding from side to side with those hips. Maybe you're you're alternating between looking to the right and left to loosen up the neck muscles, the shoulders, the back. And then let's take an inhale, look forward and come into your tabletop. Bring your hands just a little bit further forward of your shoulders, and we're going to just do a few little wag the tails. So take your hips from side to side and wag your tail. And you can do this with looking down and keeping the rest of your body still, or you can incorporate the head by looking in the opposite direction of where the hip is. So if the hip is out to the left, you look to the right. You can actually bring the hands in a little bit closer for this one. And just let's keep the breath flowing in and out. And in and out. And then come back to stillness and sit back on your heels just for a moment. Circle those wrists and then take a breath in. Come back into your tabletop. Bring your hands slightly forward. Let's do a few little circles. 3 circles around, full body circles. All the way around. Loosening up those hips. This is too much for you. You just do hula hoop hips. Keep the rest of your body still and circle your hips. And then let's press back into our extended child's pose, and let's go in the opposite direction. Round and round, whatever that might be for you. Inhaling. And you can close your eyes here. Stay present with the movement, with the sensations, all the way around. And then take a breath in, and as you breathe out, come into your child's pose. Take a rest, one full breath. creating that ocean-like sound as you inhale and exhale. Then inhale into your tabletop. We're going to start a flow, but we're going to start with, make sure your wrists are underneath your shoulders. If they're too far forward, you're going to find that you can't do this safely. Curl the toes under and just lift your knees off the ground about an inch. And this is working your tummy muscles and of course your arms. And you're breathing in, don't hold the breath here. And then lower the knees to the ground, flatten out the feet, press back into a child's pose, slide the hands forward, inhale, float through your cow. Then exhale, lower yourself down. If you've taken my other classes, you'll know how to, before this, these classes, then you'll find that you'll know exactly what to do. Lift your heart coming into your cobra. Exhaling, lowering down, press back, roll, and through your cat stretch back into your child's pose. Inhale back into that tabletop. Wrists are under shoulders, knees are under hips. Curl the toes under and just lift the knees off the ground about an inch. Take a breath in and take a breath out, and then lower the knees down. Press back into a child's pose. Inhale, float through your cow. Exhale, lower down. Squeeze the elbows in towards your sides, working those triceps. Inhaling into your cobra, squeezing the elbows into your sides. Elbows are bent here, and they can even be on the ground. Exhale, lower down. Slide the hands next to the chest. Round through your back into your child's. One more set. Inhale, slide the hands so they're underneath your wrists. Curl the toes under, take an inhale and exhale. Lift the knees up. Breathe in and breathe out. And in, just hold it a little bit longer this time. Exhale, lower the knees down. Press back into your child's. Inhale, float forward through the cow. Exhale, lower down. Squeeze the elbows in towards your sides. Inhale into your cobra. Deep breath in and out, and then lower down. Slide the hands next to the chest, press back through the cat into your child's. Take one full breath here. Keep the flow. Inhaling and exhaling. Then from here, circle your wrists if you're starting to feel tired. Curl the toes under, press back into your extended child's pose. Now some of you will stay here. Some of you will follow me, downward dog. Take a breath in and take a breath out. And you can bend and straighten. You can go from side to side, alternating the legs. So this is called pedaling the feet. And then coming back to stillness here, pressing the heels towards the ground. Knees can be bent. You don't have to straighten the legs. And you can do this also on your hands and knees, just to let you know that if this is too much. Take an inhale. I want you to lift up onto your toes. Bring your hands a little further forward. And I want you to round through the spine. So create a ripple with your spine. And then lower your pelvis towards the ground, pubic bone towards the ground, lift your heart. It's not touching. So you can do this on your knees. And then exhaling, ripple through that back into your downward dog or into that extended child's pose. Let's do 2 more sets. Take a breath in, round through the spine, ripple, 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 ripple. Whew. And then inhale to upward dog, exhale, ripple all the way back. Working the whole body here. Take an inhale and ripple one more time, ripple, ripple, ripple. This can be quite tough, and then lift back up. And then lower the knees to the ground. Take a breath in and as you exhale, take 2 breaths in your child's pose. Breathing in and breathing out. And just circle your wrists. And then inhale back into your tabletop. The final tricep, we've actually been working triceps the whole time, but the targeting of the backs of those arms are these 3 exercises. This is the third one. Make sure this time your hands are slightly in front, wrists are slightly in front of your shoulders, knees slightly back. You're going to bring your elbows down and almost touch the ground, but they're hovering. Squeeze the elbows in towards each other as if you have a block. Then inhale, re-straighten. Then exhale, bend. Create your own resistance. You don't need weights necessarily. They don't harm you to use weights, but in yoga, we don't use weights. We use our own body's resistance. Let's lift back up. Straighten. Exhale, bend. And keep your gaze on your thumbs, just about where your thumbs are. And then exhale, lower. So let's do a few more. If this gets to be tiring, feel free to take a break and go into a child's, but keep the breath moving. Down as you exhale, inhale, lift. This time exhale, lower and hover the elbows. So they're just above the ground, almost touching. Squeeze the elbows and let your gaze drop to the ground. Wherever your eyes meet the ground, take a breath in, and then exhale. Bring your hands back to your knees. If you can sit on your knees, sit on your heels, do so, and then just circle the wrists. Take your hands back behind you and stretch out the fingers just by simply taking the fingers and putting them on the ground and then lifting. So you're creating a little cup with your hands. And this should feel pretty nice. Or just place them on your lower back, just to stretch out the hands. Breathing in, a little of this, come back to the breath. Exhale it. And inhale. And then as you exhale, let's come forward again. We're going to do one more. Oh, didn't I say that was the last one? No, we have another one that works both the core and the arms. So come into your tabletop, but on your forearms. Knees are slightly back. Interlace those hands. Forearms pressing into the ground, squeezing. So this is a little less of a flowy class than we've been doing the last 3 days. More, targeting certain muscles. So what I want you to do here is you can either stay here and press back and just push into the ground and keep your bum lifting and curl the toes under or top of the feet. You can stay this is where it is. But the key is that you press into your wrists, you squeeze into that imaginary block, you engage your arm muscles. Now, the other option, which is a little bit more challenging, is to straighten your legs. Or you can keep your knees bent, or you can straighten them. And walk your feet a little bit closer to your head. So the stance for this and a downward dog is slightly different. The feet are a little bit closer in. And let yours push into the ground with those arms. Squeeze into those elbows as if you have a block. You're going to feel this, no doubt. But this is where you breathe in. And you could stay with me, or you can lower yourself into an embryo where your legs are together and your arms draped next to your legs. I'll show you in a second. And then walk your feet back, lower your knees down, bring the legs together, sit back to your heels, release the hands, slide them next to your feet, forehead on the ground. If this isn't comfortable, just feel free to put your arms in front. And then just drop your head and take some breaths here, gentle breaths. Whew. So yoga uses a lot of arm work pretty much all the time. And slowly roll yourself up. If you look at yoga people, you usually see very long muscles and also very firm arms. It's from the things we do. We use our arms, we use our core, we use every muscle in our body. Let's swing our legs forward. Let's bring the legs in front of us again for our third forward bend. Reach the arms up and then exhaling, forward fold. just let yourself soften here. Don't worry as much about the breath here. See how you feel now. How's this third forward bend? If you can recall what the very first one felt like. It might be obvious or it might not be. And just gently breathe in. So this is less of an ujjayi breath, that heated breath, and it's a little bit more calming. And then take an inhale and gently lift yourself back up, and then place the feet flat on the ground and bring your bottom to your heels and reach your arms forward, or you can place your hands under your knees for support. Lower yourself down. Try not to just collapse. You might want to, but see if you can hold on a little bit longer, and then stretch the arms away from the legs. Take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, just let your body just melt into the mat. And then hug your knees into your chest. So all my classes, they're designed, because if you do it 5 days in a row, they're not all the same. My classes are never all the same. Open up the hands out to the sides, drop your knees to the left, turn your gaze to the right. But I make sure that we don't overdo a certain muscle, a muscle area, so that we don't cause injury. You have to be very aware of your own body's limitations and, weak areas that need either extra stuff or maybe to pull away from. And as we're twisting here, just let your body just relax now. If it's tense, it's really hard to do a twist. That's why we do this at the end more than at the beginning, less so at the beginning. Bring your knees back up, give yourself another hug. And if you want to add a little extra, flex the feet and bring your forehead to your knees, toning the tummy muscles and stretching out your back. Then reopening those arms, lower your head to the ground, take your knees over to the right. And turn your gaze to the left. Whew. Sometimes we think 30 minutes is long, sometimes we feel it's quick. But 30 minutes is it's a very tiny part of a day. But what you do is you're doing a lot in a small period of time and kind of getting your body consistently in shape, rather than once in a blue moon, once in a while, maybe once a week. But doing it on a regular basis is very important for body flexibility, strength, and just overall health. And then let's prepare for Shavasana. Let's open our feet as wide as our mats. Let the feet just splay open as they would naturally when you go to bed. And take your palms, spin them up, and let the arms just slide about a foot from your body, maybe 6 or 7 inches. Yeah, maybe a foot, maybe a little bit wider than that. Close the eyes, chin is slightly tucked, and let everything melt into the mat. If you feel still tension being held in the body, there's still a tightness then use your breath to release it. So the exhalation becomes the release, and the inhalation is the tensing of the body. And you can smile. Just by smiling, it changes how you feel automatically. Let yourself lie here for the next 2 to 5 minutes. And if you're a YouTuber, you can always just turn me off and then come back down on your back, so you don't get the next video, whatever that video might be, directly after. If you're my live people, I turn it off anyway while you're still doing your Shavasana. Or you can, if you feel the need to come up with me, you come up with me. Always sealing your practice at the very end by coming back where you began, in your seat, in your easy seat. And you bring your hands in front of your heart in this gesture of gratitude, love, and compassion. So it's really sending this first to yourself, and then expanding it then outward. So sending it beyond you to everything, all beings, all creatures, everything, universe. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day, everyone. Namaste, namaste. This is Rebecca Jane from Yoga with Rebecca Jane, and I'll see you soon.